All right, so now, again, quick recap. He's on my right side. What's tricky about it is you have to modify the technique so that you're always holding on to the wrist. If not, because he's just going to keep cutting you. So I've got the wrist, and I move my hips out. I've got to get this arm in, though, to create space. It would be more ideal if I had this one as well to frame my arms, but I can't. So fortunately, this guy is more intent on cutting me than he is on keeping a good side control. And so I move my hips out while I hold this. You'll find also straight arms are strong as far as just keeping it away from you. When it's bent, you know, my arm moves around a lot, it collapses. But if you try to keep it relatively straight, that's when your arm is strongest, and also keeps it at the greatest distance from where he's trying to cut. And now I move my hips through, and I might even just go feet to hips, but if I'm here, I pull it in closer. I pull his head with my hand as I use my legs. People always forget to use their legs to pull him forward. I need him down like this. I don't want him to posture up, because then he starts to, the arms can work together. He can free the grip, and then he can start cutting me again. And that's where we're going to go next, but it changes the whole ball game. From here, I keep the wrist. I sit up, go around the shoulder, grabbing his wrist and then mine. And again, one modification, just so he doesn't slip in here like this and cut me, is to go ahead and use the thumb opposing the four fingers, which is different from a standard Kimura. And then I slide my hips out as I lie back, set my legs, cross my ankles, my leg is over his back. And that prevents him from rolling out, by the way, And then I keep his elbow to my chest, but I keep that pressure behind his shoulder. And then I turn my shoulders this way. And I would dislocate his shoulders. So in reality, you would prepare for that. You'll feel it more than you'll hear it. It just kind of makes it jump out of the joint. He'll probably yelp. And then you can take the knife away and choose what you want to do from there. Okay, let's move a little. Well, actually, let's just go this way. It's fine. I just want to get on the edge. So now, I try for that, though, and it doesn't happen. I got the guard, and I go for this, but he sits back. So I immediately, if I don't have control of the arm, I must put up barriers. Because he wants to cut my neck, my torso. This is a good bone shield. Elbow to knee like this, and I'll move my hips out like this. And then as he tries to cut, I can catch it. All right, and now I could have both wrists, which is fine, but what I really want to do is I'm going to go to like a 2-on-1, both hands holding the wrist, and I'm going to grab the elbow, move my hips this way, and now I'm going to use my foot on his bicep so he can't hand off the knife to the other one. Yeah, that would be a big problem. So I'm going to be here like this is an open, we'll call it half spider guard, and with my foot on his hip, I can regulate distance. But now watch what I do with this grip and this. I'm going to set my leg over his shoulder, pull his arm across. My calf is across the back of his neck. My foot on his hip, I'm rotating my hips, my whole body actually. Slide my hips out. And I'm going to set my ankle behind my left knee, where I can keep this arm, but I can pull on his head with the other one, and I can squeeze. In about 8 to 10 seconds, he goes to sleep. But in the meantime, it isolates this arm so that I can disarm the knife as well. And I can choose whether I want to use it on him or throw it away or hold on to it and wait for him to go limp. He'll go to sleep. The interesting thing about triangle chokes is people don't know they're in them. All right, he'll fight. You think, okay, you just trap me in your legs, and then things just start to go dim, and he just kind of goes limp. You know, and then you just let him flop over, kick him away, get up, get away. All right, so from here, I tried for the Kimura, but he got up, and I'm like this. I'm just trying to, like I said, mitigate damage at this point. And I grab it, and now I'm here like this. I grab the wrist. My hips have to go out here, but I have to block this arm if possible. All right, now I pull him in, set this leg across, I pull this arm across. Grab your shin if you need to, but watch out for handing that off. So if he hands that off, I'll close this up, and now I gotta try to control that one, which is harder to reach. All right, and now from here, holding this, and I'll pull on his head. I got my angle. If you don't have your angle, you can always fix it. And now I'm squeezing my knees together as I raise my hips and pull on his head. His arm is across. I might decide to disarm it first, and then put him to sleep. So you have to look at, in the moment, this is tough. You have to look at what is possible and make your choices from that. So your priorities will shift. In fact, with the knife involved, they'll shift pretty quickly. And the big question that dictates those priorities is it cutting me right now, or do I have control of that limb? And then from there you have options, like I said, to attack. But notice also that once we get the legs and hips in position, I have fulcrum. I can bend his arm and break it. I can disarm it. His limited motion of the arm means it's easier to control. So look at your legs as sort of a clamp that holds him down. One more time through. We'll do it slowly. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're good. You're good. So we're here. I try for the. I can't get it. So right away like this. I even like to do this. Feet on hips, hands around the triceps like this, just as a momentary position until I can get control of that knife. So he's trying to cut me, something like that. And he got me a little bit on the side. I'll live. And now from here, pass it to the other hand. Grab the elbow. I can do both to the wrist as well. You have to kind of see what holds better for you. And I bring this out and I kick it, push it away, so he can't hand off the knife. All right. One thing, if he stood up, by the way, I could also, with this hold it here, I can now, boom, I can kick him in the face, hold his ankle. We're going to go to that in a moment. But just to keep in mind that he's not just going to sit there. He'll change. He'll do things standing up, try to get his knife free or try to pay. Yeah. So now he's down for now, down on his knees. I go here. Set this across to here. Notice this position. I'm collapsing him this way as I squeeze. And then I can grab this or not. Sometimes I don't need to. I have long legs, so usually I can just get away with setting it in. And I'll disarm the knife. I'll pull on his head, squeeze, and put him to sleep. That's called the triangle choke. All right, let's try this out.